Suit up, all you Minties. This is the Uncanny Omar from Near Mint Condition, and join me today as I talk about two brand new Omnis coming out in early 2022. So, please stay tuned. This video is sponsored by Marvel Comics, so thank you so much to David Gabriel and the fine folks at Marvel for sending us advance notice of these books. Please don't forget to hit like and subscribe before going any further. Share the video, let others know where you get your breaking news in the world of Marvel collected editions. And if you have any questions or comments, but you want to stay away from spoilers, leave comments down below after you watch the video. So, we have a book coming out in March and one in April. So let's talk about the book in March first. Now, we have a reprint that's coming out in February of Moon Knight. The Volume 1 is coming out in February. We're getting a reprint of that. So in March of 2022, we're getting Moon Knight Omnibus Volume 2. That's right. All those people that have been worried, oh man, this is not going to happen. There's no way that Marvel collects the rest of the run. Well, you're in for a treat. So let's take a look at the standard edition cover first. And that standard edition cover is supplied by Alex Ross. I love this image. I think it's from Vengeance of Moon Knight, if I'm not mistaken. But let's take a look at the content, because I know that's what a lot of you are excited for, to see what is collected in here. So this particular omnibus collects Moon Knight 21 through 38, Iron Man 161, Power Man and Iron Fist 87, Marvel Team Up 144, Moon Knight Fist of Khonshu, the 1985 miniseries. All 6 issues are in here. Marvel Fanfare number 30, and then material from Solo Avengers number 3. Glad they included that in there. Marvel Fanfare 38 and 39, and Marvel Superheroes number 1. So for the first time, we're getting a lot of these books collected in any kind of collected edition. So this goes further than the Epic Collection, because we're going into the mid-80s with a lot of these books, including the miniseries of Fist of Khonshu. So that's awesome. I'm so glad they included that here. Let's look at the direct market cover. So here's your direct market cover by Frank Miller, who supplied some of the covers for the original series. And let's talk about the rest of the talent that is involved in this particular omnibus. So you have Doug Moench, of course, wrapping up his run, Dennis O'Neil, Stephen Grant, Tony Isabella, Joe Duffy, Christopher Priest, Ann Nocenti. Oh man, and then the artwork, you have the rest of Bill Sienkiewicz's run, Joe Brzezinski, Kevin Nolan, Bo Hampton, Luke McDonald, Dennis Cohen, Chris Warner, Brent Anderson supplying some artwork in here, Judith Hunt, and just to name a few. So this has the character teaming up with Iron Man. It has the rematch with Werewolf by Night in here. It has the fight against the Black Spectre. And then you get to see what happens to Mark Spector, what ends up happening to Moon Knight in this original series. So I'm so glad they are finally coming out with the rest of it in omnibus format. That makes me, and I know a lot of you, happy that have been asking me, what are the chances of this book coming out? Well, the chances are 100%. Now, coming out in April, this is another big surprise. And a book that I've also been asked about, especially since Moon Knight Volume 1 came out, and that is Moon Knight by Huston and Benson and Hurwitz Omnibus. So all those creators together in one omnibus. Let's look at the standard edition cover here. And this cover is drawn by David Finch, who helped relaunch the series with Charlie Huston. So let's look at the content and what this collects. Very excited about this. This stuff has been out of print for years in trade paperback and standard hardcover editions, and it is finally coming out all in one place. So you have Moon Knight 1 through 30, the relaunch series. So this takes place after the Mark Spector 90s series. Moon Knight, you have 1 through 30 of that. Moon Knight Annual number 1 from that series. Silent Night number 1. Vengeance of Moon Knight 1 through 10. And then Shadowland Moon Knight 1, 2, and 3. So this is awesome. This surprised me that this was coming out. So I'm very pleasantly surprised with this particular omnibus. Let's talk about this direct market cover, though. And this direct market cover is supplied by Mike Deodato Jr., who was one of the artists on the book here. And man, I don't know which cover I like more. I think the David Finch one is more iconic to me, because that's the one that they used in all the trade paperbacks, and of course it's the cover to issue number 1. And it was right after he was done with New Avengers. They put him on this book. Oh, man, it's the return of Mark Spector, is it the original Mark Spector or is it somebody else's Moon Knight? Well, one way to find out if you've never read this series. So you do have the work in here of Mike Benson, Charlie Huston, like I mentioned, Greg Hurwitz, Dwayne Swarzynski, I think is how you say his name, and then Peter Milligan. And then you have the wonderful artwork in here of David Finch, Mike Deodato Jr., Mark Teixeira, and Lawrence Campbell is another one, and Jerome Pena. I forgot that his art was in here as well, and a bunch of other creators that helped put this wonderful book together. So, yeah, pleasantly surprised. Hey, who knows? If these books sell well, we might get a Mark Spector Moon Knight Omnibus one day. And man, that would make my reading order so much easier. So that's it. Those are the two Omnis coming out again in March and in April. And don't forget the reprint coming out in February, in case you missed it. This was the Uncanny Omar. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Thank you again to David Gabriel and the fine folks at Marvel for sending us all this information. Tune back into the channel, not just when I wear the suit, but to talk about the solicitations. I do go over the solicitations once a month. Sometimes they sneak in surprises in there too. So if you have any questions, again, leave them down below. More importantly, everyone, please stay healthy, stay safe. Much love.